Hello everyone. Just give it a couple of minutes. Please excuse the mess on my table. Trying to like hide stuff off screen so you guys can't see how messy my table is right now. I have stuff ready for our Saturday crop. So welcome for everyone jumping on. I see some eyeballs tuning in. Just give it another couple of seconds and then I'll start. Hello, hello to everybody. And we will start. That is so true. Creativity in progress. Yeah, Sheila, you can see, right? I'm like pushing everything to the side. So welcome. I am Darlene from the Papercrafters Workshop. Thank you for joining me for our Learning Live, our first one for the month of May. If you have been reading our newsletter and you've been hearing Sherry talk during What's New last week, and we mentioned a little bit that the month of May is all about organizing. And we thought, you know what, it's perfect to show you how the team from the Papercrafters organize different things. We each have our own little system that we do that we would like to share with you, and that way you can figure out what works with you and what doesn't. My best tip is that you have 4 of us coming live on Tuesday evenings with our organization ways of doing things, but we are going to be popping out sporadically throughout the months with more organizing. So have a piece of paper, have a notebook ready, jot down some of the ideas to get you going. My way might be different from someone else from the team, but it's great to figure out what works with you and what doesn't. I know I'm constantly hearing how the team is doing their organizing, and I want to sit down and, you know, spend that time and organize my stuff too. So sit back, relax, and I will go through how I do mine. And tonight, our first organizing Learning Live, I use the Snap album. And not only do I use the Snap album from Simple Stories to do mini albums, I like storing lots of things in it. So I have 3 different ones to show you. This particular one, I left it blank because I was switching back and forth, and I think I found the system I like. This turquoise one that I use, you can tell it's all for lawn fawn. So this is my organizing way of lawn fawn. And I like using the hardcover one. Simple Stories does make the Snap album also in a flipbook style. But for me is this hardbound one is nice because it stands up nicely on a shelf and you don't have to worry about it tipping over. And because of its spine, it does fit a lot in it. So this is how I organize my stencils. This is all lawn fawn. My first section is all the scenery things. So doing clouds and grass and leaves and snowflakes. I use a 6x8 sheet protector, which is perfect. It goes right in. And what I did was I cut white cardstock in half, like a letter sheet in half, just so it has a backing. I think one thing I'll do this summer is do little swatches, especially for the stencils. Like these ones are okay, but it's nice to actually do it on the white cardstock so I can see what it looks like. Because sometimes you look at a stencil and you're like, what does that look like when you're using it? So I think that is my aim this summer, is to actually do prototypes of using my stencils, even on the background, just on the top here, so then I can see what that pattern makes. I use my label machine, and what I do with Lawn Fawn is because some of their stencils or stamps looked very similar, and I don't know if I have it or not. I put their code number, so Lawn Fawn, and then their item number, as well as the name of the stencil. Oh, I'm just reading comments as well. So I do that. So you can tell that I do it. My second section, well, here you go, is the only downside is that everyone's, most companies is coming out with the very long ones. I find with the slimline is a little bit tricky. I haven't found a system that I like. This has been working for me. I do keep the slimline in its packaging, and the only reason for that is because the stencil itself is very flimsy. I find that cardstock that they use is pretty stiff. So that way, if I have it standing on my shelf or if I'm turning my pages, my stencil doesn't get ruined. So for now, this is how I've been using it. It works. I just pull out the sleeve, take it out of the packaging, and then put it back in. So that's the slimline. It's too big. And hopefully I saw we can pre-order. Totally Tiffany has this nice long like file folder that works really well with slimline. So I think that might be my next go-to to try out. And then as you can see, I keep flipping over. This section is all my general stenciling. So any of the 2-layer stencils. I'll probably do swatches because yes, this says confetti, but I can't tell. Like it's really hard to tell what the pattern is. But I keep this as my basic shapes and, you know, others like backgrounds. You can tell this is my most loved. And then if you are a lawn fawn lover, the reveal wheel has these little templates to help us do our cards. And so what I did was I put them in the 3x4 sleeves, and it's so perfect where I have the name of it, and then I cut the backing, and the backing tells you what it coordinates with. So for example, this one here, it says the stencil coordinates with sweetest flavor add-on, and it tells you the number. So I can go through my bin and look for this particular one when I'm trying to use that for the reveal wheel. So I thought this was a perfect way to keep all my templates. That way I don't lose it. Hello, hello to everyone hopping on. And then so that is my lawn fawn. And lawn fawn just, I think maybe for the last 2-3 years started doing stencils. So it's getting more and more, especially the two-piece one. So with the 2-piece one, I actually marked down 2 pieces. So if I am just using the top one or the bottom one, then I'll know, okay, this is missing a stencil. Because if you look at this tropical leaves, this is 2 pieces. They have another similar one, if I can find it, which is fall leaves background, also 2 pieces, but then it helps me keep organized of where to put my stencils. So this is lawn fawn. But then you're saying, but what if you have other stencils? That comes to my black snap album. The turquoise one is all lawn fawn because it matches the color. My black one is done similar in sections, and this is for any other company. So from Echo Park, Cartabella, Simple Stories, LDRS, Pink Fresh. I don't keep here because they're always with the stencil, with the stamp set or the die. So that's in a different system. But similar thing, I keep all the different shapes. I put down, so I have codes for them. So EP is Echo Park. If it's SS, is Simple Story. So I have a little system of how I abbreviate it so I know where to look. Some of them I do keep the backing. One thing I love about PhotoPlace Say It with stamps is that they have sample cards on the back. So I keep the packaging just for that inspiration until I make my own, and then I could probably switch it out. But I love how they always have a sample of that stencil behind. So another example is this one here. Hopefully I'm on screen. It just gives you that look of what that stencil looks like. So SCT, that's Scrapbook Cards in Today, their stencil, and it keeps going on. The only problem I have is with My Favorite Things. It's very hard to find the names of the stencils because it's not listed on their packaging. Cartabella, and then so we have Taylor Expression. So these are my shapes and geometric shapes. And then, of course, we go into the scenery one. So I have different brands that I've collected over the years, and it keeps going. And then I have the events and occasions, which is my third section. So like graduation, the line paper, Halloween, and then, of course, Christmas. So I keep that separate because then it's easier for me to find themed ones for events. So this is my 2 stencil ones. And then I have a third one, which I started. So this one is a different one. This is also for my lawn fawn, but this is more of me organizing the little stamp sets. So the standard size stamps and magnets, I always have it in my Avery L pouch, and I put it in a little container. But with these little ones, I find that I lose them often because they're so tiny. So I put them in the 3x4 slots. So I have the actual stamp, and then I have the die behind. So with the die, something that you can pre-order with the store, I've been trying it out and I love it, is Totally Tiffany has a package. And the reason why I use this one for this particular organizing is because I can cut them down. And I have here, I can cut them down to the size I want. So I cut them each panel into 4s, and I can put all the little pieces on the die right behind my stamp set. It's easier than putting little Ziplocs in it. So I found that with this Totally Tiffany, and I can't even open this slot, that I can store my magnets, because the lawn fawn, so my big ones, I use the lawn fawn one, it's too thick to cut through. So this one's perfect. So I cut them, whoops, into 4s. And then I will start transferring these over. And that way I have my little magnet sheets with my little stamp set. And I found this way I won't lose it. Same system where I have the code, and then I have the name of the set. And I also put, oh, I did a spelling error. That's kind of funny. I put flip-flap, but you know, because I do a lot of flip-flops in my travelers, no, it should be flip-flop. I have to change that. But it just keeps those organized. So I will add them more. And yes, Sherry's correct. With the thin ones, it doesn't have that bulk, and I can fit a lot more because the stamps itself is so thick that you don't want it heavy to come out. And then another way I use the second part of this book is that we always have random just dies on its own. I love sentiment dies. So I did the same thing here, is that I'm using this one has the 2 3x4s and the 4x6. I'm putting them on magnets. So for this side here, until I'm gonna start die cutting my own, but I just kept this for now, just so when I look at it, I'm like, okay, what does that say? What does it look like? I just kept the actual packaging. And then when I have time, I'm gonna die cut at least one set and just glue it on top of the surface, or just glue it on the white sheet or behind. And that way I can have access to what that die looks like. So I started using my sleeves to keep these dies. Sorry. This 4x6 is perfect for the dies that are much bigger. So I'll do the same thing. I'm going to cut a bigger piece of magnet, and then I can slip it in this bottom here because that pouch is a little bit bigger. So I thought, perfect way to do the dies that don't have stamp sets. Same here. So I have my seasonal ones, I have my birthday ones in the beginning, and then it goes on. So that is my way of storing this. So just to show you one more thing is that, so remember how I showed you the templates for the reveal wheel? So with this system, I use the big lawn fawn, and I just found that it fits perfectly in the Total Tiffany pouches. And I have all my 8.5x11 magnets in here. I had it in a big 12x12 album, and it was too heavy. These magnet sheets are very, very heavy that my pages were falling down. So this pouch works perfectly. So now all I have to do is label it, but because I move it back and forth, it's really hard. I can go and find my reveal wheel, and then that way I can take it out and use it because it coordinates with all my templates. So all it needs is labels, and then that's the way I'm going to organize. So then when I look at here and it says, okay, look for sweetest flavor L710, the label's gonna be right here, but I'll know that's the set to correspond with that. So I am going to get more organized because I have this urge now to fix everything and make it look nice. But if you have these very heavy duty lawn fawn ones, just know it fits very, very nice in this. Perfect. It doesn't shift. Perfect size. It's see-through.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, there goes my Siri. And it's perfect. So I hope that gives you some tips on how to organize in a different way. I just love using this, and it's a perfect size, and I have a couple of them on my shelf. And that way I just pull out what I need, and then go from there. I'm trying to see if I missed any questions. I know Sherry has been answering them. Yes, if you die cut some extra pieces, for sure to put them back. And that's what I normally do, is I transfer them into little Ziploc bags. And then you can have them ready. So for example, this is the one that I just colored, which I'm going to add. But if you have, let's say, all the little pieces, I'm just grabbing because it's in a big Ziploc bag. So here's my rainy bear. But if you had them all cut out, but you don't want to color it because you don't know what your card theme is, it's perfect to go into Ziploc. That way they don't fall out when your binder falls upside down. And you can put it behind the stamp set. And it's like perfect because then everything's all in one. And that way you can say, oh, I can use that, pull it out, and it's ready to go. So this is the way I keep some of my stuff. And you will see a lot more different tips on organizing throughout the whole month. And you'll for sure see me again, because I'm going to let the ladies share their stuff. And then if there's something I see that they haven't covered, I'm going to pop back on and show you some more ways that I organized it. So I hope that gave you a lot of information. Stay tuned till tomorrow, because Sherry's going to tell you more about, if you haven't been online, we have a little pre-order section on some nice organization items, product. So from Total Tiffany to Art Bin. So there's a lot of stuff there for you to look and pre-order for us to bring in. But this is a way to start. So I hope that gives you some ideas. So stay tuned and we'll bring you some more. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm just reading comments. I kind of missed some. Margaret, the one I have for this one here is the 8-drawer Totally Tiffany. The 8-drawer one is a little bit more shallow. So I can fit a few more magnet sheets, but because it's heavy, I wouldn't want to overfill it because you don't want to break your handle. So this is the 8-drawer one. I did take out my 8 drawers and I put it into my 6-drawer one for now because I wanted the extra space. So the 6-drawer one has a bigger height difference than the 8-drawer one, but I find the 8-drawer one perfect for my magnet sheets. So I'm going to have to order more of these for all my doodads of magnets, my heavy duty magnets. And the nice thing is those Totally Tiffany containers stacks on a shelf. So if you put a label on the sides, they work really great. Yes, they also fit in the 8.5 by 11 paper taker as well. That's actually a great idea, so then you know you don't waste the drawers. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you very soon. Have a good night.